Good morning, everyone. My name's Caroline Hunt, and I'm the Managing Director of Emerald Starfish. We are an outsourced recruitment company. And today I want to spend a few minutes of your time just looking at the understanding and recruiting of Generation C, which is something that is relatively new to the workplace. So in terms of what we're going to be covering off today, we're going to look at who are Generation C. I did a poll on this on LinkedIn and quite a lot of people didn't have any idea as to who Generation C were, why they're important within your workplace and how you can recruit them. And then the final part, which I'm not going to record, will be the question and answers. Okay, so who are Generation C? So they are a psychographic group rather than an age group. So usually generations are defined by within a set period of time. So, you know, and we look at the new generations as they enter the workplace, but Generation C is not defined by their age at all. They can be as young as 5 and as old as 102. So what makes them different? They all share very similar traits, and this means things like similar lifestyles, similar ideologies and ideas. It's about, if you think, the best way I think is about looking at having a tribe and similar people who you understand and they understand you, and having those kind of similar values really. They tend to use the internet for their main source of entertainment. So they don't tend to do things like read newspapers, particularly watch terrestrial television. They're much more likely to be using the internet and doing, they're using that for their free time. And they don't tend to use Google search particularly either. They will look for recommendations and things will pop up and advertise directly for them. Or directly to them, and that's kind of how they get their information. So very different in terms of some of the kind of the younger generations, the Ys and the Zs that are out there. Sorry, somebody outside the room that I'm working in. Right. So, and what sort of employees do they make? I think it's really important to have Generation C within a workplace, and they bring with them a lot of traits which are really interesting. So they enjoy collaborative working. They like to work as part of a team, and they understand that kind of that more is better, and they can create more by being part of a team. They tend to be really community orientated. So what's happening within the workplace or their local environment, you know, where they're living, is really, really important to them. They tend to be excellent problem solvers. They're happy to sit and work things out. They will go the extra mile for their employers. So they are really happy to have a think about what they need to do to make something happen. They're interested in flexible working. So whether that is working from home from some of the time or different hours that fits better within their lifestyle, that's what they're really interested in. And most of all, they're very IT literate. So they have an ability to use technology within the workplace and within their everyday lives. They're really keen on that. And as a result, they need good IT systems to work with at work as well. So there are two areas that I've looked at with this in terms of recruiting Generation C, and the first of which is employer branding. So you don't need people from Generation C for all jobs. So for example, if you're looking at shop floor workers, manual work, then that ability to understand the connectivity-ness is not necessary. So, you know, they are known as, so the C stands for connected consumers, and you don't need that in some of the kind of the more manual type jobs. But some things are really important in terms of what you might want to advertise when you're doing recruitment. So they are interested, going back to the previous slide, that whole local environment. They're really going to want to know about things like your CSR policy, how you support the local community. So you want to make sure that that's really advertised. And then the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your social media around the workplace reflects what you do as well. So Generation C are more likely to believe what is posted by their tribe than they are to believe what is posted by a company. So therefore, it's really important that they see posts about what's happening within a workplace, not from a corporate management point of view, but what do other people say about the opportunity to work there. So you want to think about this when you're doing your recruitment. And then the other thing that's really important to them is that you've got the right level of technology to support them in the workplace. And again, it's something that you can talk about, advertise, show them when, if you're doing videos of the workplace, show them what it's like to work with them or with you. So that's kind of the first bit. The second bit is really, so what do you need to do in terms of your recruitment selection process to identify the best people within Generation C? So there's a few things that I've got down here. The first of which is to make the people, the candidates, feel as individuals. This is really important to them. And if you can engage better with Generation C, you will have more success with your recruitment. So this means things like not using standard emails, but following up, using their names personally, following up with them in terms of other stuff. If you're sending them stuff across, follow up with them after they've had an interview, find out how that went. All of these things are really important to them. To see how they will fit with the rest of your team, you might want to think about testing their social and emotional intelligence. So going back to that piece about them being collaborative, think about what collaborative tasks you could get them to perform as part of your assessment process to see how they will fit in terms of your other Generation C people, but also if you're bringing them new into the business, what their skill bases are. And then the final area is to look at their creativity and their ability to undergo critical thinking tasks, because they like to be problem solvers. So if you're showing this as part of your recruitment process, if it's part of the role that you're recruiting for, then that's going to really encourage them as well. So you might want to think about how you can test that to get the best candidates as part of your recruitment process. So that's it, just a short one today in terms of Generation C, what it is compared to the other generations and how important it is in the workplace. Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm Caroline Hunt and I'm the Managing Director of Emerald Starfish. Please visit our website, emerald-starfish.com, or you can call the office on 0116 20 80 246. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.